I've got a plan so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
Okay. Oh, hello. I hope you're well. Well, it's a Saturday, and we're doing a live stream. Yes, we are. We're doing a live stream on a Saturday, and I hope everybody is well. See, I've got a timer. Yeah, that I have. But today, well, we want to talk about some stuff that we do. You know, as you do. Yeah. Italy's ban on English. Might touch on Zach Goals, Smith, but also, Barcelona. Well, it's reaching saturation, it is. And, inflation in the EU is coming down as well. But first, nationalism. It seems to be taking, coming head first, isn't it? I think we should buckle up, because we're diving into the baffling world of nationalism in Europe, including the UK. It's not alone, no. Well, it's like watching a bad rerun of history. Except this time, it's not even remotely entertaining, no. Now I'm talking about a political force that's spreading faster than the rumour at a high school prom. Nationalism. And guess what? Italy is front and centre at the moment. Oh yeah, and also the UK. Well, anyway, yeah, with its, Italy's very own superstar, Meloni, at the helm. Well, I mean, seriously, Italy? Well, you gave us pizza, you gave us pasta, spaghetti, and Sophia Loren. And now what you want to do is serve up a steaming play of nationalism. Are you trying to ruin all our dinner parties? Maybe. And who's leading the charge? Well, it's Meloni. She's like the love child of Mussolini and Lady Gaga, strutting around with a fascist flair and the catchy tunes, maybe. But I can't decide if I should, be scared or entertained. Some of it just seems ridiculous. But let's just take a step back and have a look, analyse the phenomenon. Nationalism is like it's like a bad toupee. It's like a Michael Fabricant. Or, something like that. It tries to cover up insecurities. Yeah, you've got to have something to blame, haven't you? That's why we got Brexit. Oh my giddy, don't get me into that. Well, even Nigel Farage, who's getting his bank account closed, apparently. Yeah. Oh, did a little tickle that did. Well, yeah, bank account closed. He said, Brexit has failed. And that was his love child. He was so in love with it, nobody else was in love with him. They all left him, divorced him. Buggy you, they said. Well, these insecurities have been, covered up with a false sense of superiority. It's a misplaced pride in one's country. As if it's been born with certain borders, automatically makes you, better than everyone else. Newsflash, folks, it doesn't. No. Well, here's the kicker, though. Nationalism doesn't solve any of the actual problems that we face. The same applies to Italy, and most definitely to the UK, because, nationalism in the UK has pretty much screwed it. you could say. It's like using a kazoo to fix a broken economy. Why the hell did I write that? Anyway, a broken economy. Or a flag to cure climate change. And then we got Zach Goldsmith, who just resigned. Oh. And he said, Richie Sunak doesn't care about the environment. Well, we know he's got no integrity. I know he told us he did. But we're seeing it firsthand, the evidence. Now, we need cooperation. You know, we need partnerships. Yeah, not division. Now, we should be working together to address the challenges that transcend borders, like inequality, climate crisis, and reality TV shows. Oh, my giddy aunt, what are they all about? Well, so Italy, my dear friend. Yes, you do amazing pizza. And yes, it's ridiculously cheap. And yes, I've been to Italy several times. On my motorbike. And the roads are fantastic. If not a little bit, I'd put it, broken up. Well, it's amazing when you cross that border from France into Italy. It clearly shows you're running out of money. And this is not going to help you. No. No, I know. You're better than this. The people, that is. You have a rich history and culture that extends far beyond the narrow confines of nationalism. So put down those old pitchforks. I should know, my ancestors tried the same. And he got hung, drawn and quartered. Robert Kett tried to hide in an oak tree. The oak tree's also still there outside the abbey. Well, pick up some empathy and let's focus on building a Europe that unites us. Quite harder, there's so much division and hate. That there is. Well, we need to come together. Because some stuff is actually quite funny, and some stuff is actually quite nice, and some things are quite actually heartwarming. Because people, well, generally are actually quite decent. You know, you just get a few who quite frankly are not. They drag everybody else down. You need to weed them out. Get rid of the bad weeds. Yeah. Well, maybe laughter's the right medicine, though. For now. Don't seem like we can do about it otherwise. No, we all could use a good dose of it, really. Yeah. Blimey. I think we're doomed. Anyway, who's here? There's me jabbering on. I don't even know if I'm live. Oh, I think I am. Oh, that's good. Anyway, I hope everybody's well. So let's just dive into the chat. Oh, got Daddy Blase. Hello, Daddy Blase. The microphones. Yeah, leave that there. Okay, let's pop that chat out so we can have a proper look to see who's here. Beautiful faces everywhere. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going live tomorrow night as well. That we are. But also, don't forget that mouse doesn't do that, computer. What an idiot. But I've lost it. We've got members here now. Well, yeah, you might notice it. They see little Wally dogs. Well, also, well, you've got Sport Channel. You've obviously got Super Chats now. Obviously, I'm more likely to notice the your messages more rapidly. If you do a Super Chat, that is, yeah, true. It's true, you know, because it comes up on the screen. That's there. Oh, well, that was silly. Well, anyway, into the chat. Diving in, that we are. There we go. I thought I was late. No, woodworking. You've been doing woodworking. Oh, good. So we got okay. We got Derek, rubber cable. A rubber cable? Is that what you call it? Is it okay? Well, I might miss the stream, so conflicted about this title. Well, it's a bit of an odd title there. Yeah, planned 100k fine. Pretty much. One had its Meloni, on the other Sunak. Yeah, it's a bit of both. My main topic for tonight, I want to talk about, is Meloni. But we'll talk. You know, if there's time, we'll talk about other stuff as well. And Sunak comes into it because. Yeah. And then Rogers, any trouble in France tonight? Do you know what? None of it. We don't hear any of it. Yeah, because we're in the sticks. But I'll tell you what I do say is a bit like stop oil protests, because you're annoying everybody. All you do is dilute the actual cause. Poor lad got I would say, murdered by the police. And now we seem to have riot tourism, you could call it. That's what we've got. We've got people coming from all over the place, coming to France to riot. Come on. That's not sincere, is it? That isn't sincere. And what you find is the whole cause and the reason behind the riots and what have you, and the anger regarding that poor lad that got shot. I know he might be a criminal. Who cares? It doesn't make a difference. You don't go and shooting people. you just don't do it. No, it's not cheddar. No, don't do it. So yeah, he's poor lad's he's a goner now, and now we've got this going on, which quite frankly dilutes the actual cause. I think from what I've seen and the level of vandalism towards stuff that's totally got nothing to do with. You know, I get it if you've got to start vandalising things, I know, police stations and stuff like that. I don't like it, obviously, but, you know, I do understand this. There's a connection there, isn't there? But it does worry me a little bit that some of the police will then get tarnished for the same brush. They're not all the gendarmes are bad. They really ain't. Every time I've been stopped, they've been pleasant. They've just treated me with respect. Nothing to worry about. And now a foreigner. Yeah. We're poor English and French. Poor French. So it's kind of like, you know, it's my experiences with the gendarmes it's been pretty okay, you know. And I would say it's probably mostly the case. But you are going to have a certain level of racism. But don't forget, France is also a very diverse country regarding race and creed. In the day, we're slapped in the middle of Europe. You know, we have got more refugees crossing France and trying to get over in little boats into the UK. In fact, we've actually accommodated more as well. So, it's all rhetoric. It's rhetoric. It's all it is. And unfortunately, I think the actual cause is going to be diluted, because now you've got, originally Macron was saying about you know, it was unacceptable and all that sort of stuff, that sort of thing. You know, try not to put fuel on the fire. And now what's going on now, because the level of it is so aggressive and destructive, you're kind of like missing the point now, I think. Not, you know, those who are, if you're protesting in a way that is a bit more peaceful, but setting like that, it'll be fun. You won't be setting like to your mate's car, you know. So the people that live in those districts, you know, they're going to have to put up with all that now. All the fact there's all that destruction. And it's not going to get cleaned up straight away, is it? It's going to take time. So I think all you'll do is just to anger people who did support you. And I kind of feel this a little bit first-hand, because I used to be involved with the Gilets jaunes. Right at the beginning of the protest, I'll be there joining in the motorbike with the Gilets jaunes on and you know, and doing the old little bike runs and what have you. And but then it clicked. It started getting aggressive. It started getting violent. It started getting destructive. And it kind of, for me, it diluted the whole point of the protest. It really did. It started with one woman protesting because of fuel costs and stuff like that, and oil companies just making too much of that, you know. And like everything, either the right or the left wing, you know, Mélenchon or Marine Le Pen, especially Marine Le Pen. You know, she gets her fanboy is Steve Bannon. You know, just they put fuel to the fire. Although she hasn't this much this time regarding this one. She's just let it ride. Yeah, she hasn't said much. I don't think she said anything at all, has she? I haven't seen anything what she said yet, to be honest. But anyway, that's my little rant about that. So, yeah, but no, nothing to speak of here at the moment. Not in where we are. But we are quite had put it in the sticks. There's trees, and unless the trees get up and start protesting and cows, I think we'll be fine. I do worry about it though. Hey up, Lee, Tom Penny Gingers. Hello there. Phew, just made it, she said. Night one, Lee's. Tories got tasered. Oh, number 3, Davy Crockett. The ban on English is worrying as it shows a right-wing surge in the EU. I know I did a video the other day about the Dutch, but on closer inspection, it looks like it's them trying to control it within the actual... Well, is what I said anyway, but within the actual universities. Not to offer quite so much French language, got French on the brain, English language courses and stuff, which kind of makes sense. And in Spain, they're kind of pushing back in Spain. But it seems to be very, almost like states. You've got the Balearic Islands and stuff like that. They seem to be pushing back from the English. From what I can hear, through the grapevine, is that they're more keen, they want to encourage more Europeans, as in Belgians, Germans, French, what have you, into Spain instead of, and obviously other EU member states, into Spain to fill the spaces left by the Brits. But Brits are still a huge amount of Brits coming to, I think it's about 18 million a year or something. That's a crazy amount still come to Spain. And most people are decent, But it's the same old story. You get the minority and they just spoil it for everybody else and give everyone else a really bad name. They really do. Most people are fairly decent. Sometimes they might be a little bit ignorant, but we're all a bit ignorant at times, aren't we? The gun culture and stuff like that. But on the whole, most people are decent. They are. It's just the Nigel Farages in the world. So, there's just the Richard Tices and the who else is there? Oh crikey, the Jacob Rees-Moggs. Oh my giddy aunt. And Richie Sunak. Oh, do you know what? I really can't stand that man. Do you know what? I think he's worse than Boris Johnson. I really do. Boris Johnson was an obvious liar. He was an obvious Russian stooge. Did I say that? I don't apologise. Well, yes, but Richie Sunak is trying to pretend that he's not, and he obviously is. So much evidence about against him is just unreal. Nuts. I'm trying to put that together at the moment. Actually, I know all the stuff that most people know about, but I'm trying to find a load more at the moment. I'm trying to join the dots. That's it. Join the dots. So Larry the cat, hello there. I hope that they understand that you're tied in that door. Davy Crockett, Italy is not the EU. No, it's not. It's just one member state. But there is a rise of it here. And in France a little bit as well, to be honest. I haven't witnessed it myself, personally, but I do hear stories. And to make you wonder. Saskia Moni, Pellusconi, and Mussolini's Charles. Obviously Meloni, yeah, I take it. Oh, you've got Wally dogs on there. Each one has little Wally dogs on there. Turn up, they're members. I've got members. Very good. I'm working on what I can do regarding extras, you see, for the members as well. Should be pretty damn cool. So I'm trying to put two things a bit together at the moment. Oh, Marcus, Italian singer Raffaella Cara song Fiesta is quite gay. Happy Pride. Oh yeah, it's Pride Day, isn't it? They had a Pride March. This is the other thing, but kind of about the protest riots and stuff like that. I think Just Stop Oil, but it's my feeling. I'm not saying I'm right, but my feeling is that Just Stop Oil should not have interrupted the Pride March. I just felt is it me, or does Just Stop Oil just want to annoy everybody and push everyone away from the cause? And what worries me with that is this. It's not just pushing people away from Stop Oil themselves, the group. But what worries me, it pushes people back from the actual cause itself, which is important. What they're fighting for is really, really important. Their methods are terrible, though. I just don't get it. Some of it I do, but it's the levels they go to. It doesn't make sense. That's my feeling anyway. It really is. And Lord Debon, he was egging them on the other day. He says we need more disruption, but he also said that disruption needs to be measured. That's where it's got to be measured. You can't just. It doesn't make any sense. We need to embrace people, to bring them on board regarding climate change, and not push people back. And that's my feeling. Anyway, I think as far as Brexit's concerned, well, they're done for anyway, aren't they? So they don't worry about them. But climate, yeah. Daily Rising, good evening all. Hope everyone is well. And Tom Finney and Mad Monk, hello buddy. Evening all. Frank Reynolds, are you not aware that St. Paul's Carnival, very bad timing, half of Glastonbury's hair, poor Nigel, is yesterday's news. Oh, but Goldsmith is looking a bit older, don't you think? He does look a bit rough around the edges, you could say. Well, he's a sycophant. He's a Boris Johnson sycophant. He always has been. And do I believe his feelings regarding the environment? Because it's quite, I had to put it, a bit of a scathing resignation letter. All it is, how can I attack Richie Sunak? Oh, that'll do. That's what I think. I don't think there's much sincerity about it, to be honest. I don't trust him. I don't trust him, but there you go. That's my feeling. Hello there. Hello, Bish. And Thomas. Scroll down. Oh, hang on to the bottom there. I heard they called out 45,000 police, so everything is calm down. No, it's not calm. They're pulling up the trees on the pavements. You know, with the old wooden cages around them, and so they put the yank. Oh, it was Max Respect. He shared a little clip on Twitter. Oh, why? It doesn't. It's disruption for disruption's sake, and I think they just got it in their being bonnet now, and it's just a case of it's not about that young kid now. It's about just causing, a riot. That's what I think. Am I? What am I? What I am? He's got David. Yeah, so it's a bit. I don't know. It's a bit crazy. The world is completely what? Banned what? Who said that? Joe! Oh, you rude person, you. Oh, don't tell Crafty Wank, are you? No, no, don't tell him. But I do love the whole cat war thing. Too much cartoons, I reckon. The cat war. What? Are you talking about Tom and Jerry or something? Riot lessons. Oh, okay. Sean well, yeah. That's. Are you talking about lessons that, teach the Brits how to riot and how to protest? I think we need some serious teaching. Maybe not quite so aggressive as that. France is on fire. It is a little bit. So I see, but not where we are. I can't see it yet. No. Last time we had these protests that lasted about 3 weeks. 3 weeks the protests lasted. So I wouldn't be surprised it's going to be similar yet again. But this comes down to, like, for instance, George Floyd and what have you. And, people protested all over the world because of what happened in the United States when that police officer put his knee on George Floyd's neck. It doesn't matter. Like I said, it's irrelevant. Okay, they murdered somebody or something like that. Well, then, there'd be retaliation, wouldn't it? No, I don't mean like that. What I mean is, like, for instance, actually, it's a good point, actually, because that he was saying it, wasn't he? George Floyd said that he couldn't breathe, and he didn't take his knee off. And there's all heat of the moment and all that sort of stuff, but that was no. I think you could probably call that murder, to be honest. David, what's David? What do you say, David? Marcus, where is the spirit of all parties, including gay pride? Nigel Farage. Oh, dear. Please, like and subscribe. Oh, yes, please. Oh, don't forget the likes and subscribes. It helps the channel, It's really important. Yeah, that really is. I need all the help I can get. If you're wondering, I didn't upload many videos. I only put one on this morning. And I tell you what I've noticed. If you put too many videos up, it's almost like spamming as far as YouTube's concerned. And then they throttle you back. And that's what seemed to happen earlier this week. Because on sort of Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, my views just went woof. But, the switch had been flicked. Even though I had quite a few videos up, each one's been pretty poor. Really poor. So I really need to keep it within the 3 a day, really. But I've got too much to say. Oh, that'll make a good video. I'll do that. And then nothing happens. And I think, nah, it's really, yeah. It takes the spirit out of me. It does. Pierce, it's an actual kitty. What? What kitty? I don't need teaching. I could learn you how to get a horse to throw a riot policeman off if you wish. What? But that's okay, Tom Finney. You can do that yourself. I don't want to get locked up. I'll get thrown out of the country or something stupid, wouldn't I? Well, Meloni, what has she been up to? Oh my giddy aunt. It gets from bad to worse, it really does. And do you know what I forgot to do? I'm just going to load that up. Just because stuff I need, you see. I haven't loaded up my sound effects. What the hell? I've got it sitting in front of me, it's not even lit up. Oh, damn me. Oh, it's loading now. Oh, that's okay. Oh, you got to say sound effects.
Whoop-de-doo!
Right, okay. And now I'll load that up. Hello, Wally. I've got a Wally dog here now. Yeah, so we're going to talk about Meloni to start with. So I've got a few things I'd like to talk about. To share with you guys and girls. And, oh, here we are. Hello, Wally. Oh, come on then. People watch. There you go. Here he is. Oh, it's mine. It's mine. Fell down. Yeah, little devil you are, aren't you, boy? Oh, crikey. He ran off again. He's been a little bit of pain recently. The last 2 or 3 walks, he keeps running off right up ahead. And I think he's got a sniff or something, yeah. There. You're 13 years old. I don't really want to take the bricks to you just yet. No. You know. No? No. Keep him intact. He needs his bits. Keeps his personality. Well, Giorgia Meloni. Well, was it Giorgia Meloni? Oh dear. Oh dear me. Is it that one? Oh, it is. Well, there she is. Little old Meloni. Well, this is a little bit concerning in many ways, I think. And also a little bit silly. I understand they need, because like in France, for instance, they broadcast, get back in here, broadcasts in France, say for radio station and stuff, all the content, they've got to have over 50% French content. That makes sense. I get that. You need to protect your language, it's your heritage and your culture and stuff like that, most definitely. But some things, what worries me is, like, for instance...
So, you have accepted the truth.
What was that? Oh, wow. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, Mark Spiggs fan is here. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Hope you're not working too hard. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't change. What, me? Don't change. And members do not want any extra effort. They just want to support you. And, oh, cheers, buddy. That's very kind. Yeah, I just want to give people a reason to... make it worth their while with the memberships and stuff like that. Because it's just, I'm a bit of a basic person, you see. When I go to the shop and I hand money over, I expect to get something in return. Do you know what I mean? And it's just be jabbering at the... I don't know if just be jabbering at the camera is enough. I think what it is, what's that word? What's that phrase? Oh, crap, that's coming to me a minute. Imposter syndrome, that's it, that's what I've got, imposter syndrome. How the hell am I doing this? How the hell have I got 60 people watching? You sad kids. Well, Giorgia Meloni's party said that this policy, is necessary, apparently, to protect the Italian language and national identity from growing Anglomania in the country. No, I think that's an exaggeration, personally. There obviously is people who speak a lot of, English and what have you. But remember, there is, it's an international language, isn't it? But they can obviously, French is quite broadly spoken across the world as well. But, you've got the United States, you've got Australia, Canada. Actually, they don't really speak English, do they? They can, nor do I. Well... The right-wing party, led by Italy's Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, has pushed forward proposed new legislation which will push the use of English and other foreign words in official communications with fines between 5,000 and 100,000. 5,000 and 100,000. Oh my Gideon! That seems a little excessive, I would say. Well, the goal of the legislation, which has received wide condemnation in the country, I imagine further afield, even by Italy's most renowned scholars of Italian linguistics and philology, can't even say it now, the prestigious Accademia della Crusca, is to defend and promote the Italian language and protect the national identity, according to Meloni's party. Now, it all gets very silly. I don't know, with Italian, it does appear. I can remember when had to pay my speeding fine. I do it online, you see. When I went to Italy last time, on the old motorbike, on the old GSX 1400, with through friends and what have you, and in Italy, I don't know if anyone's seen them. Anyone here from Italy? Those flippant speed cameras you got that look like those little minions. You know, the little yellow drum things with a camera in it. I thought it was a minion. I thought it was just funny. So I went faster. No, I don't get. But anyway, yeah, we got speeding fine into it. I got 2 speeding fines in Italy, and once I got 1 speeding fine in Italy, and I paid it online. But anyway, the point is that it seems like the sentences to say something that really in English should be that long happens to happen to be that long. Just, yeah, there's about 6 words instead of 2, or something like that. It's just nuts. It's I feel you could say it in French actually, to be honest. Well, I think actually Italian's a little bit more intense. I can't imagine me ever learning that. Long I struggle with French. So the new proposal, supported by Meloni, was introduced by Fabio Rampelli, a member of Italy's lower chamber of deputies, in a tweet pinned to his Twitter profile, and the MP gives an example of the so-called Anglomania, which will get Italian politicians and bureaucrats fined if the law gets passed. Okay, I know. It's not passed yet. Yeah. But it probably will. Now, in the lower chamber of deputies, we speak Italian, Rampelli writes. We continue our battle for the use of our language instead of English, and we can't understand why we call, this is where it gets silly, dispenser, the automatic hand sanitizer, dispenser, he said. Instead of using the word dispense in English, Meloni's government would have officials use the much more wordy Italian expression. Oh my God, how can I do this? It'll be dispensator di liquido. I don't know what that means. Or would that be automatic? Maybe is that automatic for the hands? Per la mani. Oh blimey, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words. Instead of like, oh damn it, it's up to them. Obviously, you know, it's their country, but it just seems a bit nuts. Dispenser, automatic hand sanitizer dispenser. It just gets a bit silly. Well, the Italian language, like most other languages in Europe, has adopted many English terms in recent years. I would say it's the other way round. The thing about English, it's nearly all French. Well. All like the Sion words on, well, they're all French words. Yeah, we've got the T-I-O-N, and that'll be the S-I-O-N. Anyway, in part because the English language often offers a more concise, snappier version of terms that in Italian would take quite a roundabout way to express. Now, environmentally, I think this would be a really bad thing because you need twice as much paper whenever you do a document. Maybe. Anyway, back in the chat. Cheers for that. Mark's biggest fan. Italian is a beautiful language and very descriptive words, a lot of which are root to many English words. Yeah. It is a lovely language. I love the hair, but I wouldn't know if she wants to learn it. I'd really struggle. I really would struggle. I struggle with English, have you noticed? I do apologise. Watch out if you come to Luxembourg. Grey posts speed. Oh, are they the ones that look like just literally like a sign on it, that sort of thing? I've seen a couple of them about. They've got some of them in France, and it's just literally they look like a grey post you put a sign on, and it's got a speed camera in it. Yeah, watch that. So you got them in Luxembourg, have you? Oh my giddy aunt. The speed, and they're everywhere, and the tolerance is 3 kilometers. That's very similar to here in France. In France, it's €90 fines for speeding, but if you pay it online within a certain period of time, it's €45. Now, in the UK, I have never, ever got a speeding fine in the UK. Never. Whether it be cameras or whether it be police or whatever. Come to France, I think I've had about 6 or 7 here now. Something like that. So many people get caught out. My friends are being caught out. Visitors are being caught out. It's yeah, it's really easy to get speeding fines here in France. Joa. The hormone translator. I can't remember how many languages Joa's got, but Joa knows quite a lot of languages. He's a bit of a fan about learning languages. For me, I really struggle with languages. Maybe because I've never really my work and stuff like that. It's always just been hands-on, working on the tools and stuff like that, and it's not really ever really that interested me. It should have done, but it hasn't. We've got 66 people here. Cool. Oh, the farther south you go, the further south you go, the less English speakers you'll find in Italy. I keep an Italian to English dictionary in Sicily. Sicily. I'll tell you one thing I really noticed about when I went to Italy, actually on mobile notes as well, but when I went to the camps, I mentioned this before actually in the previous streams. Met my son, and their Pisa and what have you. And anyway, going over we're camping all the ears and stuff like that. Or wherever you can with the camper, basically. Anyway, we went for a walk. Happened to walk underneath the toll roads. Well, they were built post-war, weren't they, most of those, massive amount of money and what have you, and lots skimmed off regarding the mafia, regarding maybe a little bit less cement than there should have been. Maybe a little bit less iron reinforcements, such as the rebar, what have you. What we noticed was that the rebar was too close to the surface, and it's all rotting on the surface of the concrete, and it's all blown. You go in France, and all the concrete is spotless. You go over the border into Italy, and it's terrible. I've worked with concrete a lot, and it's kind of, oh my giddy aunt, that's just not how you do it. Well, we went for a dog walk, happened to walk underneath, with all the lorries, you can hear all the lorries going across on these motorways, and you look at the stanchions. Nothing should be going across those motorways. I tell you, don't do it. If I can find the picture of the pictures I took, I might put a post up about it, but I don't recommend it. I mean, decay. It was really bad. It was really like the big lumps out the side of it. It was all like rotten, blown out. So it's just not enough cement in it. It's just poorly put together. No slump tests, no tensile tests or anything like that. I wouldn't have thought. It's just, how can we get away with, how can we save 10% to go in our back pockets? Oh no, I know, less cement. That'll do. Something like that anyway. That's what I reckon anyway. That's what it looks like. Languages are not encouraged in the UK. That's big. Now, my early years at school I really struggled with, and I found it really, really difficult. I used to go to Dreamworld, literally. They give you a task, and our teachers are useless, basically. And I'll be thinking about model airplanes. So I like to fly model airplanes. Even back then, I was flying model airplanes. We'd be chuck gliders and stuff like that as a kid. Anything that flew, I loved it. And I was just doing a dream world. And all of a sudden, she'd say, time's up, or something like that. And then I realised I haven't wrote anything. I might have wrote the title, and that was about it. And just gone off on the complete dream world. I really struggled with it all. And regarding French and stuff, there was no French or any languages taught in our primary school. And that only came in the first. So the problem is, some schools, such as Hillside School, so we went to St William's Hillside School, they did teach French. And the kids who got to secondary school and started, you do choices and stuff. The first 3 years, you see what you could be good at and what have you at school. And those, you could tell, obviously, those who'd done French in primary school, they had a head start. They were doing a lot better. And those who had them were just lost. And the others just race ahead, and you just feel, And, we struggled with it, basically. So, that was shit. That was shit. And because I wanted to catch up with my English, I was given the opportunity to improve my English. Because I didn't used to speak hardly. See, I'm not like that. Like, how can you tell? Do I talk a lot now? Probably. But anyway, I didn't back then. I was shy, so I didn't speak much. So I had an opportunity to improve my English, and I did. And that way, I didn't do any. I basically skipped for French. And how much do I regret that now? Oh my giddy aunt. And besides, I wouldn't be brilliant French anyway, because it was secondary school French. Without any without any time, any language learning in primary school, which is a mistake. And my granddaughters are doing it now, and then first years of primary school. So little Grace and that. So yeah, it's important. It's really important. I realise that now as a kid. You think, oh, well, I'm never going to go there. I could have been a Brexiter. Italian's a beautiful language, that is. Watch out if you come to Luxembourg. Done that one. Oh, scroll down. Hello, Brian Maguire. Here in Antwerp. If I'm dealing with a person who I don't know, I apologise for my poor Vlaams and Netherlands and then batter on in my version of Vlaams. You know what? One of my favourite. If I'm struggling with it, with the French, I just go on something like, I just say something like, "Oh, just be an ugly idiot" or something. I mean, it's just, they're like, no, they go, and I and you just have a bit of a banter going on, and most people, as long as you're trying, and most people are really good. Yeah. The French here, we've had no real issues. You get the occasional one, don't you? But, you get them everywhere. Trouble is, the number of Italian-speaking people is shrinking. Oh, my God. Is that right? So there is most certainly there is an issue then, isn't there? Would you say more and more people are actually speaking English instead of Italian? Because that isn't... I think I'd hate to see culture diluted like that. Language diluted. Diluted. Yeah, I wouldn't like that, but I don't think this is the way to do it. Fire people 500 grand, that's just nuts. That's just crazy. She's just trying to feed her right-wing support, isn't she? Sounds a bit like, Richie Sunak. So, bear is not the same, Vertigo. Some bears are... Oh, cure, okay. Vipec, that actually... Oh, Vipec, what does Vipec say? Hello, Joe, he says, so I imagine a couple all with the triple price utilities is a daily scramble for quite a few people over here, and I feel sad for children that are suffering really badly, but no major press. There isn't, is there? There's no real major press across the board, to be fair. A lot of these things, and that really... It's like at the moment.
So you have accepted the truth.
There's a lot of talk what's going on in France at the moment. It's just another handy scapegoat, isn't it? That's what I think. I think it's just, that's something else to talk about. They ain't got to talk about the fact that we're locking up people for walking down the road. Literally. We've got you got more problems in the UK. Inflation here, for instance, in the EU's averaging at 5.5% now. Was it 8.9 in the UK? Germany's still around 6.5%. I might have gone down, coming down a little bit now. I don't know, but it's a different economy anyway. Apart from fuel and energy, Germany's a big exporter. Well, Japan's a big exporter. Now, it's something I wanted to talk about actually. I'm going to go wing it because I haven't planned for this bit, so hopefully I get it right. And I'll get back into Meloni, but not literally. No, she's not my type. I'm happily married,
So, you have accepted the
who's
truth.
That? Oh, cheers. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, God, who said that? It's a Scotch boy. Thank you very much. You're most kind. And Ruth. Oh, hello, Ruth. Oh, I hope you're well. My connection keeps going on the blink, so here's a couple of bob in case I can't... Oh, don't go. Hopefully it gets sorted out. I can't watch all your vids because the more I use the tube, the more my server charges me. Oh my giddy aunt. Really? Oh, you must be on a restricted connection, and I take it.
So, you have accepted the truth.
And Brian, hello there. What on... Oh my giddy aunt. What the hell does that mean? Oh, you've translated that. I thought that was actually a lesson, but you'd actually translated for a language course. Yeah. That'd be a blooming good idea. We do actually have lessons. It's empty. And my tongue don't work properly. Especially rolling the R's. I feel like I'm spitting at everybody. Oh, so embarrassing. So yeah, I tell you, we'll do it after this, actually. Let's get back into... Oh, not this. Sorry, Batman. That was actually an accident. But Benzi's there. Let's let him have a little spin. Spin me right round, baby, right round. Has he done yet? That's not the button I was going to press. That just happens to be right next to this one. Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, okay. So, like someone said on here a minute ago, I can't remember who it was again. It was saying it becoming very diluted.
So, you have accepted the truth.
Oh wow! Cheers, buddy. Rihanna. So I can't pronounce. How do you pronounce that? You got phonetics for that? How do you pronounce that? To be Rihanna, and it's SJOUW. Oh, keep it up! Yes. Thank you very much, most kind. Thank you. I'm Al's biggest fan. I'm making the noise. I am making the noise.
So, you have accepted the truth.
Oh my God, what's going on there? Oh, thank you. Okay, back up we go. Okay, where were we? When in doubt, speaking in a foreign language, mumble. I do that anyway. I tell you what I noticed is when I'm doing these live streams and stuff, and I get towards the end of the live stream and I start getting tired, I noticed that I do start mumbling.
You have accepted the truth.
Oh, cheers, buddy. He's making a noise, says Mark's his biggest fan. I've got a fan, yeah. He's my biggest fan, apparently. Yeah. There you go, look. So, in part because for many, the use of an English word, even when an Italian term would do just fine, for example. In Italy, it's common to refer to work meetings as briefs or use the word deadline in the professional environment. Adds the touch of... Yeah, I can see you making a noise there, Marcus, because authority and internationalism is obviously a problem, but I imagine with everything that's going on at the moment regarding Brexit, you're going to have less people, coming from the UK to Italy. I know we're still getting quite a few, but not as many. It's gonna it's definitely gonna become more diluted. I thought English would. What you're not gonna have is all the expats, meaning immigrants. Yes, you're not gonna have all them now, are you? It's not as easy. Well, according to the latest data, Treccani, the well-respected Italian language encyclopedia, currently contains 9,000 English words and 800,000 Italian words. Since 2000, the number of English words that have inserted themselves in the Italian language has grown by 773%. So, need to say, some people, who would love to preserve their language, obviously are not very happy, and also those who are a big extreme nationalists as well. I'm sure they're not very happy about it. Well, the adoption of English words into the Italian language is an object of endless debate in Italy, where opinions are split between protecting the integrity of the national language and accepting their living languages are fluid and constantly evolving. Well, Meloni's new proposed legislation takes a strong stance into this debate, pushing for a conservative approach that intends to virtually ban English words from public administration, schools and universities under the new law. And any university class that isn't specifically aimed at teaching a foreign language must be in Italian. Courses in foreign languages will only be justified when targeted for foreign students. It's not just in education, they're talking about across the board, all public administration. So anyone holding an office in public administration must have written and oral knowledge and mastery of the Italian language. Now, according to the draft bill, the use of English words demeans and mortifies the Italian language, and it's even worse now that the UK is no longer a part of the European Union. Now, basically, they've got the say. The proposed legislation still needs to go up for a parliamentary debate, but will it succeed? Now, that is a question that has getting a lot of condemnation, apparently. But, she's got control in some ways, isn't she? She's the president. By my God, it's called muttering and intent to speak. Yeah. The language of husbands all over the world. Yeah, my grandfather when Audrey, his second wife, and that, because my grand, she died, and my grandfather remarried, and she's jabbering on at him for one thing or another. He's I'll read his book. He was very well read. And he'd be sitting and reading his book, what have you, and he'd jab it. He'd just do that. Give her the bird while he's reading the book. It's just how classy he was. He was class. And he walked into Belton camp. He did. A lot of looting went on as well. That's how come I got that. See that there, at the canter, just there. Yeah. Oh, I also got a Voigtlander camera as well, a 120-roll film camera. I used to use that quite a bit, actually. It's quite a good camera. Muttering with intent will be illegal soon. Oh. De nada, Mad Monk. Oh, Mad Monk. Oh, who we got? We got Casper Northerner. Hello there, my friend. I hope you're well. Hiya, Joa, Ginger Giraffe, 91 Leaves, Man Monk 33, and Sir Larry the Cat. Did anyone hear the embassy call of the guy speaking about his wife of 57 years? No, I did not hear that one. Oh, sounds funny. But I hadn't seen it, so I wouldn't know. You only mumble when you're talking to Caroline, says Brian. Probably. Oh, she ain't been very well. Again, she's struggling a bit at the moment. But, poor old thing she is. But she's, ever since she had the operation, she's settling in, apparently. It's what the doctor says. It's got to settle in. But she'll always have some issues. And it's, she can't burp. So if she eats anything that builds up a lot of gas, normally we just burp up, wouldn't you? But her, it's just intense pain, and then it bruises all this esophagus and all that, and it's got all in her stomach, just constant swelling, and it's all bruised and that, and then she can't eat for ages. So yeah, she had a bit of a surge of it last night. She's her own worst enemy though. She's always eating the wrong things. She's. When it happened, she's good for a bit, and then she sort of drifts back into bad habits. And she's not like me. She's not fat or anything like that. She's she's a wee little thing, really. She's a sweet girl. So there you go. That's Meloni has decided it's a great idea, and it's trying to push to fine people in Italian civil service, I suppose. The blob. what do you call the blob in Italian? Would be like, I don't know. What would it be? I got a clue. But anyway. Oh dear. The world's messed up. It really is. What does worry me a little bit, I suppose, is for people who live in Italy and their language skills aren't brilliant, and maybe Brits and that. Well, if it's going to be illegal to help somebody, do you know what I mean? I cannot. No one's going to do it. I don't want to get £100 fine or £5 or whatever it is. And you won't get them help. It's going to be very costly getting translators and stuff, I suppose. Blobbo. Or Blobby, Pazzo. Is that what it is? Would Blob be Pazzo? Jasper's he's good at languages, so. And Carcamana, or Boris. Oh my Gideon! Because you've all heard, obviously, that the flight to Rwanda has been deemed not legal. Now everyone's going on about can't hear it online. People saying that it's not right that these foreigners they all stopping us perform our laws and stuff. So not allowing us to when our laws are our law, we should be able to enact our law. But we're not allowed to because the foreigners, those pesky foreigners, are telling us that we can't. The ECHR, for which remembers. But anyway, but what they seem to forget is not actually the concept of sending people to Rwanda. It's the fact that they say it's not a safe country. So they're not actually saying it's not a safe country. They're saying the deal isn't safe. It's not safe because Rwanda can send them to, well, their country of origin, into a war zone, or what they've actually fled. So yeah, it's those who want to push it through are trying to make it simplistic, and it's like the wording as well when they about they're going to complete their asylum process in Rwanda. Yeah, but it's not the asylum process for the UK; it's the asylum process for Rwanda, and they can say no and say bugger off. We don't want you. What can you offer us? See, the thing about Rwanda is since oh my god, when was it? Oh my god, yeah, Rwanda Hotel. When was Rwanda Hotel? Oh, the genocide. Because different shaped noses and stuff. Oh, I bet it was it 90 in the early or late 90s. 93? Is that right? Oh, anyway, loads of people fled, and they went to other countries and places. Yeah, loads of people fled. Yeah, for obvious reasons, get murdered. So now the country is crying out for people. They actually to build the country's economy, growth. Thing that we're trying to squeeze at the moment in the UK, but yeah, growth. They need more people. So if you've got skills and stuff that you want, obviously they'll probably hold on to you in Rwanda. But will it be proper citizenship? I don't know. I don't know what they offer, to be honest. But no, I not trustworthy. No. And besides, it wasn't that long ago they shot some refugees for standing up for themselves. They just shot them dead in the street. Casper says, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Hope you're having a good weekend, Vipek. Oh, Vipek. The official language in Ireland, Gaelic. It's very legal to use English. The blob in Italian is Boris Johnson. Oh, crikey. So they're all kicking off regarding... Stop the boots. Yeah, and Rwanda. That flight to Rwanda. Oh, it's my dream, it is, as Sue Ellen Braverman told us all. To be on the front cover of the Tory Graph. Well, Boris Johnson he had something to say. He wasn't very happy about it, was he? No. So he made a little video saying it's a safe country. That he did. Oh, there he is. Chop his head off. Shall I should get some sand? That'd be good, wouldn't it?
People. Hi, folks. My latest column for the Daily Mail is about the desperate people crossing the channel, the evil people traffickers who take huge sums of money to bring them across against the law, and why our Rwanda policy is one of the best hopes we still have to stop this vile trade. And a small change in the law we can make to get the Rwanda policy back. Get Rwanda done. Read all about it in the Daily Mail, online in just a few hours.
Oh, thank you.
In the paper tomorrow. Hi, folks. My latest column.
Go away. We don't want you anymore. Go away. Don't like you. No. And Pretty Patel, she's been saying that, that's not Sue Ellen Braverman's project. It was mine. It was my idea. That's what she said. Yeah. These people. There's something seriously wrong in their heads. That there is. I don't know what to say about me, but there you go. I'm used to it. Well, Zach Goldsmith, he had something to say, didn't he? In his resignation letter. Oh my God. Well, Zach Goldsmith, I think, like I mentioned earlier, actually, a minute ago, but I think he just jumped on the old bandwagon. He thought, this will be good. Yeah. Well. Oh, dear me. It really annoyed me because we're in a serious situation. We really are, and it's people don't want to talk about. You know, if I make any videos about the environment stuff like that, they never do very well. Never. If I make videos about Rwanda, they don't do very well. And I would make more videos on things going on in Scotland, but they don't do very well. I want to do more videos about how Scotland's been abused, been raped by Westminster. Oh. Anyway, so but they never do very well. I almost feel like they're being throttled by you two. It seems Because I look at the impressions, it isn't always a click-through rate. Some quite often it's just the impressions. So maybe there isn't a big enough audience for it. I don't know. Either way, but there must be an environment. You'd have thought, wouldn't you? So it's just if I do videos about, like, for instance, I don't know, the Dutch are blocking the English, blocking English, stuff like that. Sort of a bit of a little bit clickbaity title, and it does well. It does okay-ish for my channel. But then you do a video that's I feel is more important. It doesn't do anything at all. No one likes important stuff. And especially, I think a lot of people, many people, I kind of understand that they want to put the head a little bit in the sand, ostracize themselves, stick their head in the sand, so you don't have to face up to what's really going on. And it is. I think it's a huge issue. It's a massive issue. Well, the environment obviously is. We're trying to do our bit here to lessen our load, but I'm starting to think the only way we're ever going to do any good is to remove the problem, and that's us. Oh, we need a cull. Tell you what, we need to all. We've got to sort ourselves out. That's it. Do yourselves in. Are you still there? No, don't do that. That was a joke. Don't do that. Bad idea. It'll hurt. Yeah. So, oh crikey, Zach Goldsmith. He decided it was a good idea to resign. He ain't very happy, no. Well, he got criticised recently, didn't he, because of the contempt of the committee and what have you, Privileges Committee. Because him, amongst others, such as Jacob Rees-Mogg, but he's a minister, he's Zach Goldsmith. And you got Jacob I was going to do something else. I'll do it after this bit. Jacob Rees-Mogg and various others, who, including Nadine Dorries and Boris Johnson, were all in contempt of the Privileged Committee, contempt of Parliament. Well, Zach Goldsmith has probably got a bit of pressure from Rishi Sunak to resign or apologise or something. And Zach Goldsmith decided, I'm just going to resign. Or he got pushed. We're never really going to know, are we? To be fair. We can speculate as much as we like, but we're not going to really know. Well, there he is. Oh, yes. The Conservative pair says is horrified by the government abandoning the environmental commitments. Now, okay, you might be right, but that's not the reason why he's decided to jack it in. Otherwise, why didn't he do it before? He knew what was going on along. Flippin' hell, Boris Johnson restarted was it the coal mines in Wales? Is that right? More mining. So the Foreign Office Minister, Zach Goldsmith, announced his resignation over the described as government apathy towards the environment. Now here is his resignation letter. Shall we read it? Oh, shall we? How long is it first? Oh my god. Is that all of it? Oh my giddy aunt. Is that it? Shall I do it? I'm going to do it. I'll have to talk really quickly though. Alright, here we go. Because what are we going? 104. Okay. Dear Mr. Prime Minister, in your short trousers. Okay, he didn't say that. He said, stop the boots. No, he didn't say that either. Well, I became involved in politics above all because of my love and concern for the natural environment. Bollocks. Actually, I could do that. Well, or not. So, for the environment, we depend on nature for everything, and we are degrading the natural world at an astonishing speed. Logically, there is nothing more important. Oh, I wonder how he voted regarding the Environment Bill, which pretty much signed off the water companies' the ability to, carry on pumping shit into the rivers and seas. It's pretty much just authorised it, really. You've got to make an effort, but don't say how much. Well, so when you asked me to stay on as minister for the international environment, I, of course, accepted. I did so with a view regarding the progress we had seen in recent years on the international environment and to building on a record of international leadership that has been so warmly welcomed around the world. The past 4 years have been an exhilarating performance. I tell you, exhilarating. Yes, for me. And I will forever be grateful that I was put in a position where I could do more for the environment than I thought possible in my lifetime. Or in a lifetime. I'm proud that in recent years the UK had played a critical, indeed defining role, leading powerful coalitions of ambition and securing world-changing commitments over a very wide range of environmental issues. Didn't Richie Sunak decide he wasn't going to, attend the COP out? I got a fly. Go away, fly. I've got a fly on my keyboard now. Go away. I like flies. Oh. Anyway, and even, I suppose it's natural, and even in the highly polarised political environment here in the UK, there is an unwillingness to acknowledge it. That leadership has been recognised and appreciated by civil society and governments around the world. As a direct consequence of our environmental leadership, we have seen countries previously ambivalent towards the UK stepping up to support us on numerous unrelated issues. We often find ourselves invited to regional environmental summits as the only outsider country present. It is the UK that civil society routinely turns to for help advancing their cause. In many respects, the UK has become the single most important voice for nature globally. I believe we can be proud of our record at the COP26, if you turn up, and we secured unprecedented commitments from countries, philanthropists and businesses that, if delivered, will put the natural world on the road to recovery. You'll be lucky. At the time, WWF said nature truly arrived at the COP26. Yeah, ready. Well, the Tropical Forest Alliance said, we look back and realise that this was the day that we finally turned the tide on deforestation. Now, Forbes called it a Paris moment for forests in Glasgow. With strong support, not forests in Glasgow, but forests, then it says in Glasgow, with strong support for the then Prime Minister. We are able to achieve far more than any of us ever thought possible. I think getting rid of Bolsonaro would have obviously helped regarding the rainforest. Well, since then, the UK has been the driving force behind successful global efforts. We led calls to protect 30% of the world's land and ocean by the end of this decade, a goal that is agreed by the Biodiversity COP in Montreal last year, where the UK did more than almost any other country to make it a historic success. Oh, well. Separately, we helped galvanise, this is waffle, galvanise agreement for the new global treaty on plastic pollution. Yes, we filled the rivers and seas up with it, and was our team of negotiators who, more than any other, secured an agreement for the creation of new laws to protect the high seas. So waffle, 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 waffle. Oh, but mangroves, coal and mangrove restoration. Well, if you knew, I was at on that island in the Caribbean with Graham who's been to every single country in the world about flying. And on that island, Ginger Island, well, that's surrounded by mangroves. The mangroves are very good at holding carbon dioxide. Ooh. And efforts to stop plastic pollution and illegal fishing. Now, these other funds are world-class, blah, 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 blah. I still can read it all, but it's blah, 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 blah. Waffle, 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 waffle. Waffle, 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 waffle. All right, let's get to the point. Scroll down. What? Banned glue traps. Pet smuggling trade and banned glue traps. Yeah, glue traps are horrible. Okay. This might be it. So before you took office, you assured party members via me that you would continue implementing the action plan, including the Kept Animals Bill, which they didn't, and measures like ending the live export of animals for slaughter, banning keeping primates as pets, and preventing the import of shark fins and hunting trophies from vulnerable species. But I have been horrified, as bit by bit, we have abandoned these commitments. Yeah. And animals have their feelings, don't you know? Well, domestically and on the world stage, the Kept Animals Bill has been ditched. Despite your promises, our efforts on the wide range of domestic environmental issues have simply ground to a standstill. Basically saying that Rishi Sunak is inept and he's got very short trousers. More worrying, the UK has visibly stepped off the world stage and withdrawn our leadership on climate and nature. Too often we are simply absent from key international fora. Only last week you seemingly chose to attend the party of a media baron rather than attend a critical important environment summit in Paris that ordinarily the UK would have co-led. What's that say about him? Sounds a bit like Boris Johnson actually as well, doesn't it? When meeting up with, well, I suppose he did attend the meeting in the EU, but then he swiftly went to Alexei Lebedev's villa in Italy. Russians. And then we then get a Lord of Siberia. Oh, Eugenie Lebedev. Ain't we lucky? Well, the worst still, we have effectively abandoned one of the most widely reported and solid promises we have made on this issue. Our pledge to spend 11.6 billion of our aid on climate and environment. Oh my giddy aunt. Okay, well, I suppose that's 3 times less than what Labour's, well, not quite 3, but yeah, what Labour promised, but they're rolled back as well, haven't they? Well, indeed, the only reason the government has not had to come clean on the broken promise is because the final year of expenditure falls after the next general election and will therefore be a problem for the next government, not this one. Well, that's pretty much saying it as it is. This is a promise, and remember that has been constantly repeated by the Prime Ministers in the past 4 years, including you, and for good reason. It's the single most important it's the single most important signal of intent for the dozens of small islands and climate vulnerable states on an issue that the existential for them. Well, the Western society has pretty much screwed them, to be honest. We've been buying too much shit that we don't need. Well, these states, remember, have equal sway in the UN when we routinely seek for their support on other issues. Now, the same promise was also used... I lost where I am now. Used successfully by the UK as a leverage to persuade G7 countries to follow suit. And breaking it would not only infuriate them, along with those small island states in the Commonwealth and beyond, it would shred any reputation that we have for being a reliable partner. Integrity, honesty. Judge me on my actions. Prime Minister, having been able to get so much done previously, I have struggled even to hold the line in recent months. The problem is not that the government is hostile. Oh. Oh, I'm working away all next week, says Marx's biggest fan. Way north. Next stop is the Arctic Circle. Can you cease and desist all activity until my return? Okay, there's no live streams until Marx's biggest fan returns. I can't do that. I will never understand how. And with all the knowledge we have now, that our fundamental reliance on the natural world and the speed in which we are destroying it, anyone can be uninterested. Yeah, to be honest, that's my point as well. But even if this existential challenge leaves you personally unmoved, there is a world of people who do care very much, and you will need their votes. Well, you ain't gonna get them. Every survey and poll, without exception, tells us that people care deeply about the natural world and about the welfare of other species and about the handing of this world in a better shape for the next generation. That's one of my worries. I worry about my grandchildren. And all these issues inevitably grow in importance. So too will the gap between British people and the Conservative Party that fails to respond appropriately. Well, I think that ship has sailed. Now, it's been a privilege to be able to work with so many waffle. But this government's apathy in the face of the greatest challenge we have faced makes continuing in my current role untenable. With great reluctance, I therefore are stepping down with immediate effect. But I might wait at least 18 days, like the Dean Dorries. Okay, he didn't say that, but he might as well do. Oh my God. Richie Sunak is losing so much support. It is funny, but it's actually really serious. But saying that, I still don't think that is a reason why he's stepping down. It's just good ammunition to poke Richie Sunak in the eye. Because he's still upset. Because his little... his little Boris and his...
We got an oven-ready deal, put it in the microwave.
Happens to be a...
Kipper.
Yeah. Got shot in the back, or stabbed in the back, by Richie Sunak and Sajid Javid. But Richie Sunak's the Prime Minister. For God's sake. The government is collapsing, as it is. It's falling to bits. That's what's happening, as it is. Anyway, I'm going to go into the chat. Up here. They're all Tories speaking like someone was actually listening to him, most definitely. Brian McGrath says, left. Oh, I do like left, Brun. Oh, crikey. That's strong stuff. That's in, yeah. I do. What have I got here? Oh, it's just soup. It's a Ruby Bay. Left do nice bay as well, actually. It's not quite, it's a bit sickly, this one is. Oh, Duvel triple hop. I also like the left triple hop as well. That's nice. I like strong, hoppy beers. Really, really hoppy beers. Yeah, that's what I like. SPF 50 in Scotland. What? You're talking about phytosanitary? SPF 50. What's SPF 50? Have I lost a plot here? Mad Mum. But don't forget your SPF 50. Oh! Sunak and Starmer attended Murdoch's party courting the Kingmaker. To hell with what we want. Murdoch is very, very important. Thanks to thanks to a deal made by Thatcher. Yeah, they're like that. Oh, they were. Well, Thatcher's dead. But Sunak and Starmer. Okay. So Sunak and Starmer, do they attend the same Murdoch party? No, I'm very disappointed in Starmer, as you probably have already been made aware because of videos I've made, but also what I've said. So I'm not very impressed, but he's like the lesser of two evils at the moment. So what box do I put my cross in? I don't have a lot of choice to, really. Any beer recommendations? I just said when I read, like, the left triple hop is really good. Hogarden's nice, although I do find it some depends on how I feel or what I've eaten. Sometimes a bit dishwasher-y sort of like twang to it. Yeah, a bit, but other than that, it's alright. Okay, Vipek says to Joa, Vipek. Oh, sorry, Joa says to Vipek. Vipek, you would find British specialists coming here, invited to bulk up panels of experts and such. But now I have seen the usual synergy with the Spanish, Germans, French, even the US. Now, here in France, but also in Spain, where the Brits aren't coming because obviously Brexit. Since all the numpties put the cross in the wrong box.
Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Yes. And now they're not coming like they were. Well, they're not buying properties there. There's still people buying properties, but not necessarily. Well, not as many Brits buying properties here in France and Spain. We've got an influx of Belgians in Spain. Here we've got quite a few people from the Netherlands. It's almost like, oh, the Brits are gone now, and they've renovated the properties for us, and they're selling them cheap. It's a bargain, you could say. So, got a really annoying fly. It's these big old lights, you see, that's what's doing it. Tracks are flipping flies. Didn't have any a minute ago, and they've got flies, just put lights on. Damn it. So, Zach Goldsmith, I think you are, how to put it, a bit of a hypocrite. So, So Richie Sunak, oh crikey. I bet his day was ruined by that resignation there. And he's going to be getting a hell of a lot of grief, isn't he? And since then, he accused the old Prime Minister of being apathetic about the environment. Most of us, I think, find a little bit concerning. Makes you wonder if they'll roll back from the 2030, 2035 carbon neutral pledge. I can't see it happening anyway, to be honest. I really can't. The problem is not a lot of people embracing it. But nor are they. Huge amounts of money could be brought into the economy. I can't remember how much it was now. Several billion into the economy if we just insulated our houses. And obviously the upshot of that is people save some money in the winter. But eventually it's wasted. We keep looking at how we can actually bring more energy or make more energy. But if we look at actually how we can save some, we might do okay, I sort of see houses with incandescent light bulbs. The ones that get hot. It's just nuts. That makes no sense. None whatsoever. And so many things are happening at the moment. We've got whales, flipping orcas. They're going around trying to sink yachts. Maybe they're Russian yachts. Anyway, they're little yachts. Anyway, small boats. Anyway, they're trying. What they're doing though, it appears that these orcas have got some kind of skin condition, and they're basically scratching themselves on the bottoms of these boats. That's all the barnacles and stuff. They've got a huge amount. They've got a massively increased amount of lesions on their backs because their skin condition, and they're just trying to scratch back. So I don't think they're sinister or they are radio controlled orcas or you've all got lasers attached to their heads. No, I don't think it's that. No.
Whoop-de-doo!
Well, I don't know if you heard also, Spartane, they found it's cancerous. It's carcinogenic. There's links to it being carcinogenic. So I can see some massive, if this becomes infinitive proof, I can imagine there are going to be some massive lawsuits against Diet Coke and other companies that use aspartame, the sweetener. I think it could get rather, I'd put it, a little bit, expensive. Yeah. And then we've got you might have seen this. This is just nuts. It really is nuts. So what I'm gonna do. There you go. There's old Richie Sunak. Cut the waiting lists, he says. Okay. Well, this is what you said the other day. You might have seen it, you might not.
Telegraph.
Daniel Martin, The Telegraph. Many people find it very hard to get an NHS dentist. Do you think that more dentists should work in the NHS? And is there anything in the plan which would help achieve that?
The simple answer is yes and yes. One of the examples of reform is in dentistry, where we can have people who are not dentists but are in as the allied health professionals, where it's I think what they call therapists, one of the roles whether we expect them to do more dental work. Telegraph.
Daniel Martin,
yeah.
Telegraph.
Okay. So you're saying that, are you? Okay, Richie Sunak. Okay. What did you say a year ago?
This year than last year. That's why the NHS has recently reformed dental contracts to improve access. We now invest over £3 billion a year. There are over 500 more dentists working in the NHS this year than last year. That's why the NHS has recently reformed dental contracts to improve access. We now invest over £3 billion a year. There are over 500 more dentists working in the NHS this year than last year. That's why the NHS has recently reformed dental contracts.
It's a lie. You see? The proof is in the pudding. And the pudding, well, it's flat, it's non-existent, or somebody else is eating it. Well, Richie Sunak, he can't help himself but, lie. That's what he does, isn't it? Lie. Integrity, they call it, you see. Apparently that's the new integrity. New age integrity. There we go. In the chat. I was going to talk about something else a minute ago, and I lost track. I've got some other stuff I can do as well. I might run them on to tomorrow instead, because I put too much on my list, like usual. So we've got the Eurozone inflation it's fallen to about 5.5%. Barcelona has reached saturation. I think I'll do it tomorrow. And that one there, that one there. Well, there's a bit of a chat, all right? I've been giving this a bit of thought. I think we've got a bit of an issue. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, really? Uh-huh. Well, you know what they say. Well, they would if it worked. It's not working.
Whoop-de-doo!
Yeah, that's what they say. But I think we've got a bit of a problem. I think capitalism is imploding. Like, many of us would say, oh, I don't like capitalism. That's a problem with capitalism, they say. But unfortunately, that system is stuck in. But I think it's imploding. I think we've got a bit of an issue in the sense that we don't have the foreign investment as we had before, which pretty much disguised and covered up issues regarding the fact that all the rich people at the top are getting richer, and the poor people at the bottom, well, they're poorer. Before, we had a bit of foreign investment coming in, and a bit more work was being done, more services and stuff being made, manufacturing, what have you, jobs for people, and it kind of like disguised it. But I think we're rapidly getting a situation where we've got there's an imbalance, and it's becoming a circular economy. The only problem is it's not circular. The circle's not meeting up. Oh, actually, it's divergent. It's perpendicular, and it's just end off to offshore accounts. Something to do with Jake Rees-Mogg, probably. Yes, Wally, I do know. I can hear you. He's whining at me now. Do you want another treat? They're really little, I know, but come on then. You have to work for it, though. You'll be a performing seal. There you go. You're a good boy, really. You can't keep extracting money out of the system and 2 foreign bank accounts in the Cayman Islands and expect to be able to sustain the economy. Now, you get other countries like, for instance, like Japan and places like that, which export a huge amount. They import very little. Whereas we rely on foreign investment, and our exports are down, so foreign investment has gone down because obviously, you want to invest in the United Kingdom, you want some output, don't you? You want some money. Now, you can argue like the water companies and what have you. The argument at the moment I heard today was that you won't get no foreign investment if you privatise the water authorities. I thought, what's the point in having water authorities owned by private companies if all they're doing is extracting the money in the first place and not investing? It makes no sense. And it's you put off foreign investment. The one thing that's put off foreign investment in the United Kingdom is flipping Brexit. We're no longer that stepping stone into the EU, are we? For the United States or anywhere, in fact. So that's a big cockblock. And you can't wonder at it. All we're doing now is extracting money to the richest in society, the 1 or 5% of society. They're rapidly getting richer. And it's just like sucking dry the pot. And if we don't get more foreign investment, that before was hiding that, it was disguised. People at the bottom, ordinary people, working class people, not just people on average wages, even some of the people on higher wages, their money is going to get sucked dry. Everything that you do, everything you own or bought, there's somebody at the top there has made some money. Whether it be your mortgages, whether it be just fuel in your car, that's extracting money, isn't it? Energy to heat your house, electricity, everything's been extracted. They're all foreign-owned companies. Just nuts. Just like Thames Water. You've got Saudi Emirates. There's Canadian pension funds, China, and another one that I can't remember. But you know, it's been bled. Not going to Sweeney Todd, it is. The country's been bled dry, and we're not encouraging people to come to the United Kingdom to invest money. And I know they're trying to say otherwise. Oh, CPT, foreign investment and all that. They're only going to invest if they think there's a market to sell the goods to. We don't have the manufacturing, and besides, everything we import, so everything we need or try to export or make in the United Kingdom, it requires imports, and everything's just become very difficult to get hold of. Okay, they are talking about lithium mining in the UK, but the amount of lithium we need, there's nothing about the environment, obviously, constantly. You know, if to go carbon neutral, we're going to have to dig more holes, we're going to have to do more mining. We're going to have to be shipping stuff further afield, and you know, from further afield. So of course, it seems very counterproductive, some of it. So I think we just need to buy less. We need to desire less. Let's go be a bit more basic. That would stuff up them up top, wouldn't it? If we stop buying, those at the top will stop earning. Well, not earning, extracting, bleeding us dry. Hold on to your money. Stick it in your suitcases. Well, maybe not suitcases, under the mattress. Maybe. No, don't do that. Not cash, because yeah, it will run out of tender, wouldn't it? Yeah, get too old. Anyway, who's in the chat? Oh, Brian Maguire. Oh my God, you pointed out why frog-faced Farage is really leaving the UK. He has none of his normal people like him to drink his real ale in the local pub. What about his gin? What about the Farage gin? Oh my giddy heart. Pink gin, blue gin, and gin. Yeah, that's it. How are the latest numbers? UK trade. I haven't looked at those for a while. UK trade GDP is actually maintaining about the same, but there's a big but. And the big but is the cost of maintaining that GDP has increased. So the profit margins for the companies that make the GDP and also individuals is much depleted. Yeah, we've got supermarkets such as Iceland and Tesco's, but Iceland especially. Brexiters, why should I care? But anyway, Iceland, for instance, made no money last year. No profit. They had good sales, but the cost of sales gone up because of Brexit. Obviously, inflation hasn't helped. Food inflation hasn't helped either. Everything's gone more expensive. Many of the supermarkets actually, in some ways, although they're greedy old buggers, they've nibbled into their profit margins to be able to sustain and that's what pretty much, I think that's probably why they backed down from meeting the requests of the government saying that we need to bring you need to bring your prices down. They thought to themselves, well, it worked in France. Well, maybe let's try it in the UK. Let's talk nicely to the supermarkets. And the supermarket says, well, sod you, we've already squeezed because everything becomes far more expensive because of your Brexit, you flippin' Tories. Yeah. Well, in France, Emmanuel Macron, you either love him or you hate him. I'm kind of a bit in the middle. I don't really know, to be honest. He can be quite arrogant, to be honest. But Emmanuel Macron did speak to, well, not he personally, but his government spoke to the supermarket and said, well, we will look upon you favourably if you lower your prices. And so many of the supermarkets, including Super U and a few others, apart from the clerk, didn't. Just the major supermarkets here in France. But also Intermarché, they lowered their prices a bit. They brought in a load of products that they called inflation busting. But there's a big but here. Food in France is more expensive on the shelf than it is in the UK. Because the farms, they have a different buying system here in France. The farmers have control. They feel they're being squeezed. They'll protest. They'll say, sod you, you're not going to get it then. If you want to buy from us, you need to pay what it's worth. And as such, the prices here are more expensive than in the UK. So with the UK buying system regarding it's they say let the markets decide what the prices are going to be. Screw the farmers. Let the markets decide. Yeah. So they squeeze the farmers. They buy up in contracts with rates from last year, because that's when they negotiated the rate for next year, and then the farmers' costs go through the roof, such as what happened with the war in Ukraine regarding imports and inputs into the farming industry, such as seed grain, fertilizers, and all that sort of stuff. Plus Brexit. The Brexit was causing a squeeze on that at 6 months before the war in Ukraine. I made videos about it back then, where they couldn't get the fertilizers, or packing industry couldn't get the carbon dioxide and stuff like that, and there's loads of issues. And then obviously you have the war in Ukraine, and it makes it all, it's a good excuse, but also intensifies the situation. So the farmers were getting squeezed, but they were getting paid the same rates they were getting last year. But those who grew wheat, for instance, whether it be feed grain or actual wheat into the for what you eat, wheat for your shredded wheat maybe, that went up in value, but now it's gone down in value. So those who made the assumption that they're going to make more money, so they invested more in it because the wheat prices went up, they've now been nipped in the bud now, because the wheat prices are gone down by about 30-odd%, in some cases a little bit less. So there are some countries in the EU, such as, oh my goodness, Poland? Was it Poland? Or was it Bulgaria? Oh, I don't know. I think it's Poland. Some countries have banned grain from Ukraine because the farmers are kicked off, because it's pushing down the price of the grain. But I'll be absolutely honest with you, I wouldn't buy foodstuffs as it stands from Ukraine personally at the moment. Not because of Ukraine, because nothing's getting checked. There's foodstuff, wheat grain that's coming from Ukraine that they found has contained toxic pesticides and what have you, stuff that is banned in the EU. Which, if that law still applies, it would be banned in the UK as well. So it's not good. Not good at all. 50 loons, and a passers-by's calling. Oh, okay. One sip of wine gives me a raging headache. I can't drink. Don't you drink at all, Gingers? Gingers, if you do come to France, if you want, I'll take you to Ordres Seclen if you like, if you want to visit somewhere historic. No. Ginger says Mark's the biggest fan. No quotation marks around the ladies and wine part. What? God. Oh dear. Oh, Vipex said something about a channel. What channel? 32. Trade deficit comes out on the ONS in October, and some analysts are saying that we are already importing 30% more than export in pound value, and the capital markets are worse still. Well, look at what's going on regarding inflation. It's not going to come down. Not anytime soon. That's going to hang up there for probably until next year. I won't be a bit surprised. Now, even Andy Haldane, he said he's one of the economists for the Bank of England, but he had a disagreement with that Brexit numpty, Andrew Bailey, part-time gimp, and he left. Well, he actually said to Sophie Ridge earlier this year, only about a month ago, I think it was. He said to her that we would be seeing the inflation rate, rapidly come down in about a month's time. I thought, hang on, I think you're wrong. It doesn't make any sense. Tell you what I really don't understand is how people seem to think, economists, that Brexit has got nothing to do with everything but the war in Ukraine and energy prices, and that's the only thing holding inflation up in the UK. But don't they look abroad? Don't they look how other countries are managing? France's inflation's come right down. The United States inflation's down to somewhere around about 4% now. Still got to come down further, hasn't it? It's down to about 1%. But the aim around 2%, isn't it? But the UK, it's 8.9, 8.7, something like that, isn't it? And it's It's holding up there. The only thing well, I've got to say it. I've said it many times before. I know we can't actually get the stuff done. We've got very poor productivity in the United Kingdom because we haven't got the people to do it. It's all very well saying pay more money and all that, but if people aren't there in the first place, you can pay as much as you like. All you're going to do is play Magic Roundabout. Not Magic Roundabout. Magic Roundabout. What? Musical chairs with work placements. People just go from one job to another because they're getting paid more. Oh, better prospects there. Well, I'll go, I don't like this boss. And all businesses can do now is think, I have to get, pay 1,500 quid or whatever it might be to get import some people from further afield, Nigeria or somewhere, and pay for visas. All comes at a cost. And for the people working at these places, if they don't get on, they have to go back. The visa becomes nullified because it's attached to the person who awards the visa. It becomes a sponsor, you see. And you can't just transfer your sponsors. So there's not much incentive for workers to come over anyway. And besides, it costs money. Why would you do that? Even when we had fluidity regarding workers coming from the EU as freedom of movement and all of that, we still had shortages because we needed people. Our employment rate was low, ridiculously low, and we always need a certain amount of people to back us up. It's times when people, change positions and stuff like that. But now, what's this government want to do? It's just, I know. We're going to encourage people into the workplace, doctors, for instance, and nurses, what have you. I know what we're going to do. We're going to train them less. We have 1 year less. Yeah, makes a lot of sense, that does. Just like they did with the HGVs. Because we had a shortage of HGV drivers because of cabotage and what have you, drop-offs, 1+, whatever many, when people were coming from the EU into the UK. But now that's kind of being pushed to one side, and that's what they do. So, we've got to train more people to be lorry drivers. Okay, that's what they do. So how many times I can say what they do? Anyway, I'll say that again. So before they made the change, you had to get your HGV for a rigid first, as basically a fixed vehicle. It doesn't hinge in the middle, no, or near the front of the cab, the tractor unit. You have to do that first, and then you can do the articulated. Don't know what they've done. They got rid of that first bit. They go straight to articulated. Oh my Gideon! I can just imagine the trouble that must cause for the instructors. Now, I've driven articulated, not on the roads as such, but on sites and stuff like that, reversing into park into spaces. Flipping out, you basically got to point it. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's worse than reversing a trailer. They can say that if you've got a short trailer and you can't see it in your rear mirrors and stuff, well then you've got no hope. You're better off to unhitch it and push it back. But it's just nuts. The whole everything's just gone absolutely balmy. It really has. Get more people in the workplace by removing training from highly skilled sectors in the workplace. It's just madness. These are weapons, these things are. Okay, Wally, don't sulk. He's literally sulking. You want another? Go on, have a little one. Have a little one. Go on. He sulks. Oh, now I've got Pandora's come to see me now. Come on, Pandora. I'm not going to make you've got a bad hip. Come on, well, you can fall off in a minute. That's not for you, it's Dora's. Come on, Pandora. Oh, God, just chuck it to. And we'll think we didn't feed him. It's in state of them. They had 3 walks today, so I've done quite well. So, where was I? After all that, that's about the chat. Oh, I think we come to an end anyway. Do you know what? I done myself a show run and everything, and I still messed up. I've still gone 1 hour 45. I suppose it's, oh dear. Now I don't seem long enough. I'm not going to do any more than 2 hours though, so I've got another few more minutes. Let's have a chat. Oh, Brian McGuire, rum for the ratings, gin for the gents, old Andrew's saying. Ooh. What, Prince Andrew? Oh, maybe. Oh my God! Did anyone see? Oh my God! Oh, I wish I had the clip there now. Did anyone see Little Prince William? Little Prince William going to, was it Aberdeen, was it, something? Up to Aberdeen. They had all the railings out. They had all the railings there for the crowds to cheer with their little flags and stuff. The little Union Jacks, you know, the butcher's aprons and stuff. I think there was about 3 people. just nuts. No one turned up, but crikey. It's not surprising though, is it really? UK suppliers had existing contracts that they had to fulfil at higher costs. Yeah. Literally. That's pretty much what I was saying, isn't it? It's just nuts. It's the goalposts moved. Everything was more expensive. What's next for Farage? Will he grift people like Trump with worthless, oh my god, non-fungible tokens? That's it. What non-fungible tokens? Are they going to be like pictures of Farage with lions on top of the world or something? Like Hercules. I don't know. Oh, people actually bought them non-fungible tokens with Trump. One of them is like Superman. UK suppliers, existing contracts. Yeah. What's next for Farage? Done that one. How Americans get drunk without spicy water is beyond me. Oh. Yeah, I'm not keen on the American bear. That's not bear, is it? No. What's the one with the frog? Go away, fly. God, flipping annoying fly. New head of Tesco's starting in September, and he's Irish. Irish. Yes. They need to change the way they do their buying, otherwise the farmers are screwed. And if you listen to Liz Webster from Save British Farming, that's pretty much what she's saying. How the buying is done in the UK is just unfair. It really is. It's just they're squeezed. It's okay if you've got loads of land, you might make a profit. But there again, if you have a bad year, you make a massive loss. It's a gamble, huge gamble. And if anyone watches Harry's Farm on YouTube, I think he's obviously a conservative, but he does do some really good logical videos, and he has been a bit scathing about Brexit without actually like saying he's scathing about Brexit, you know, but you can clearly see what he's on about. It's really good videos actually. Yeah, although I'm very disappointed though that Harry bought himself one of them Grenadier things, you know, one of those Ratcliffe 4-wheel drive what's-its. Obviously a Brexiter. Maybe, I don't know. All hail the ale and welcome wine for the ladies. Farage came to Ireland to promote Brexit. God's sake, that man's an idiot. Oh, he is. He's just an idiot. He really is an idiot. A fair amount of times he got caught out on his little, telegram things, you know. Up the rise! Giddy hell. What's that? What's that? Something. Who's Anus? Big shout out for Who's Anus! The man's a loon! I mean, it's just. That doesn't he. Well, how would you not know that? Yeah, boy, Giddy hell, he's a right flippin'.
Kipper!
That he is. Oh dear. Mark's the biggest fan. Oh, you upsetting my gingers? Oh dear. Oh, Ginger says, oh, that's why I don't drink beer. It's nasty. When I was growing up, I don't know about you, but I first tasted beer and stuff when I was growing up. I hated it. I thought, that tastes weird. Didn't like it. No, but now. American beer is awful. Scroll down. That fly, go away! Flippin' fly! They do have a purpose, though. You say they clean up. When we're all gone, you see, they'll put all the maggots in our bodies and stuff, and then it just cleans up, you see. They're there to clean the planet up after we're gone. That's it, because, yeah. Well, that's where we're heading, anyway. It's just the flies that survive. Lovely thought. The Portuguese one with the crushed ice is the job. I never had that. Oh, I've got to get my cameras done. It's pretty much finished now, to be honest. I've just got to get CT'd now. I've done the brakes. And it's got a bit of an issue with the lights. Not because the lights don't work. They all work. Except on the dash, it's telling me they don't work. None of them. Because they're all LEDs. And it doesn't see the LEDs. So I need to find a way around that. And I've got a funny feeling that they won't be very happy at the CT station. A palace stolen from Jacobite supporters. Ooh. South Aberdeenshire is the most monarchist area in Scotland, says Gordon Mackenzie. And it's about 15% popular. Most areas only about 5% or less. Crikey. Oh, talk about hazelnuts. We've got hazelnuts coming on our trees. Pretty cool. Andrew, a nickname for the British Royal Navy. God. Costco has pretty decent wine selection, to be fair, and mostly used for cooking. But I'll have a glass occasionally. Here in France, wine is so cheap. I mean, really cheap. You can actually get a drinkable bottle of wine for €1.80. Anything less than that, well then, yeah, forget it. But €1.80, you can actually get a drink. I'm not saying it's good, obviously not, but it's drinkable. It doesn't necessarily give you a blinding headache, and it's like not necessarily vinegar. But it's for €4, you feel like a king. King sausage fingers. No, maybe. Well, a bottle of Finlandia Blue Label given to me by a Norwegian. Oh, God, the weirdest drink was given... Oh, crikey, what the hell was that? I can't know what it's called now. Oh, crikey, it's snake in it. Like a snake. It was about that long, little snake in it. Obviously, it was dead. Yeah, as a spirit, bottle of spirit. Of some description. Never, we didn't... After where it is now, actually. I didn't drink it because the idea of drinking that with a certain snake fermenting inside it, it's disgusting. Yeah. I can spot a glass of Finlandia vodka out of 1,000 glasses of anything else. Well, you are an expert there, Vertigo. You really are. Genie Bottles is no time to plan, safe, and afford a life. Discount doctors. They'll be using AI as backup. Well, the other day, the flipping system fell over, didn't it? Regarding contact and, the emergency services. And they said use 101 instead. Or something like that. That was nuts. They don't do tech. And they don't do software in the UK. That's worth having. No, regarding the government, that is. They mess up every time. Oh. Well, you can get a good bowl here for 45 euros. Anyway, well... well, I'm going to call that it in a second, because we're now come up to 2 hours, and I'm supposed to be an hour. This is a Marcus hour. If I don't call it, pull the curtains at some point, but then obviously it just goes on and on, doesn't it? I can't help myself. And I'm going live tomorrow night as well. Now, I was thinking about doing a midday live stream on a regular basis. I was just wondering what sort of time would be a good time to do it. Whether it be a lunchtime stream or something like that. So I don't know, 1 o'clock my time or something. On a day, but I don't know what day it'd be. Weekdays would obviously be quite silly, I suppose, because people go to work, don't they? But maybe the Saturday stream, like the night stream, maybe do it on midday instead. The only thing I'd be worried about is people like Ginger's, because she'll be in bed. 114 minutes. I know, we're getting close. I'm live tomorrow as well. 1 litre Jameson and Ireland's nearly €40. Really? Blimey. Belgium 32, Philippines 20. Crikey, it's all about the taxes. You aren't wrong. Jameson, I'm just Jameson here. Per litre bottle, James, that's really high. Blimey, that's not that much hair, Brian. It's not that much hair in France. If you want some a bit bog standard, like I don't know, teachers or something like that, teachers scotch, which is, that would be, I don't know about litre bottle, but a bottle of teachers you can get about 11 or 12 euros. If you want a bottle of Glamorgan, that'd be about 16 euros. And what's the other one? Other Scotch Island. Oh, what it's called now. Anyway, yeah, it's okay. You get the more expensive ones and stuff. I quite like a Cardew. If I was feeling extravagant, I'd be a Cardew or something like that. But I haven't done for a very. Actually, to be fair, the last time was Caroline bought me a bottle for my birthday, and that was rather nice, but it's expensive. And Cardew, that varies a lot in price here. It can be anything from about 25 euros to about 35 euros. It just goes up and down like that. Don't know why that is. But quite, that is expensive for Jameson. I do like Jameson though. My son always buys Jameson when he comes to France. Ginger says, I don't watch Graham's Morning Brew because it's 4:30 AM. Like it would be, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure. Do they do quite well in the mornings? Obviously not for you, Gingers. But I'm going to do more live streams, you see. I want to try and get my acting game regarding keeping it to a reasonable length of time. I know I've gone over a bit today. But obviously, if you're doing more live streams, you don't need to do them quite as long, do you? You know, and that allows me to do other things like make with other videos and stuff. Ooh, Black Bush is the best whiskey for the price. Never had it. No, I haven't. Vipec, all little Wally dogs. By the way, when it gets to 2 months, you get a star. Or was it 1 month? When we get to 1 month, you get a star. with your Wally dog. I can't even describe it to them, but they have nothing you can compare it. Okay, really? Do they actually? Joe, do they actually? Can you get Portuguese whiskey? Because I've never had anything Portuguese whiskey. Night all dogs need to go. So do I. Take care. Take care, Vincent. And night all dogs. Night all dogs. Well, I'm not a big drinker now these days without touching it. Actually. But Bagacco, is it an aniseed? Johnny Walker Black or Crown Royal half of the time I end up with a new fiance. Don't do your live streams during the two Davies live stream. I usually watch them and catch up if I'm going to watch them. Okay, I need to. That's where it gets complicated, you see, because I don't want to step on other people. I was thinking of going live last night, and I thought, oh no, because obviously Max's stream, I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't want to trip. And also, I was really tired. I was a bit down yesterday. I don't know why. I'm like that all the time. I am, and it used to be. That's just flipping YouTube. So two Davies. Okay, so two Davies. I don't want to hog YouTube with my live streams. I don't want to step on other people's toes. Two Davies. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with something that I'm sure you'll be very happy to see. It should give you a warm, fuzzy feeling, but you might want to squint. Just a little bit. No? I think you will. Yeah. It's probably going to get me demonetised as well, actually. I might have to break it about a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Oh, sod it. Anyway, thanks a lot for coming, and actually really appreciate all the super chats. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you. And yeah, they're very good. So I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I hope to see you tomorrow night as well. Oh, I better plan my next show. Better upload tomorrow's video. And do all that stuff as well, you know. Well.
So, you have accepted the truth.
Oh, cheers, buddy. Love you, mate. Love you too. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And you have a lovely weekend. And hope to see you tomorrow night if you're about. Night, folks. Pleasure talking with you all. Night, Max. Night, everybody. And I'll leave you with this. I'm an evil bugger. Oh, it's Rock Face. Look at him. Isn't he lovely? I might talk over him. Let's see. Here we go. This is Nigel Farage telling the world that he's been cancelled. And by the back, I'm so upset for him. Poor little old Nigel. But before I play it, I think we need to play. If it worked. Oh, I could. There you go. Just give a little number.
What I mean, and he does his little turn on the catwalk. On the catwalk, yeah, he does his little turn on the catwalk. Get him off, Nigel. I'm too sexy for my cat. Too sexy for my cat. Poor pussy. Poor pussy cat. Oh, too sexy for my love. Love's going to leave me.
New. Sorry. Well, let's listen to little old Nige.
2 months ago, I received a phone call from my bank. Now, bear in mind, I'd been with the same banking group since 1980. I've had my personal account there with that group ever since that date. I ran my business through there when I worked in the city in the 1990s into the noughties, and today I have my personal and business accounts there. But 2 months ago, I get a phone call out of the blue from a personal manager, a new personal manager, not one I'd ever spoken to before, who simply says on a phone call, "We are closing your accounts." I asked why. No reason was given. I was told it would all be explained in a letter that would arrive in a couple of days' time.
I think he's lying.
The letter just told me the accounts are closing, and please, by the date they gave me, make sure you've moved to another bank. I did inquire further within the group. I sent an email to the chairman, and I got someone ring me up and say it's purely a commercial decision. I thought. So I've tried for 2 months to get another bank account, and I've spoken to 7 different banks, and they've all said no. And the reason is, it would seem to be political. I don't know precisely what the reason is, but there is a category of person called a PEP, a politically exposed person. It was a term that came into our law as a result of our membership of the European Union. I'm told that the city minister and the government are thinking about redefining it, but that may take some time. So it could be purely political. It could be, of course, prejudice. After all, I'm pretty used to prejudice that comes from the establishment against me.
Probably as a scumbag.
But I also worried very much that what was said in the House of Commons last year by Chris Bryant, Member of Parliament for South Wales, Labour member, chairman of the Privileged Committee, who used parliamentary privilege to say that in a calendar year I'd received £500,000 from the Kremlin. This was done under parliamentary privilege. I appealed to the Speaker, I appealed to Mr Bryant, but there's been no retraction whatsoever. There have also been extraordinary headlines written about me in all of the newspapers, some suggesting that on the night of the Brexit referendum, I engineered a coup along with the hedge funds where we pushed the pound up, shorted it, and we all made a fortune. Well, I'm afraid that isn't true either. But whatever reason, it's become clear to me that I cannot get a bank account. Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that basically you've become a non-person. It's rather like living in Germany or Russia 80 years ago, or perhaps even communist...
Nige, you are a non-person. You're barely human.
China today. I wonder, are we living in communist China today in this country? Are we...
maybe.
Akin to communist China. Love your thoughts on that, please. Farage at gbnews.com. Well, all of this has been quite stressful and quite difficult, because without a bank account, you simply can't exist, you simply can't live. But what's even worse is that over the course of the last few months, some of these ridiculous rules and closures have been extended to my immediate family.
You been money laundering again, old Nige?
And whilst I'm sad and annoyed about where I am, I'm absolutely incandescent that members of my family should be singled out and targeted just because I campaigned for and pushed a Brexit campaign.
Let's be honest, Nigel. You give diddly squat to your family. Because if you cared about your family, they would have come first. And the signals would have been there from your missus and probably your kids as well, saying, well, this Brexit thing of yours is causing us, well, disquiet, making us unhappy. If you were a real father and a real husband, you might have decided, well, maybe I should have pulled back from Brexit and looked after my family instead. But no. I just want my Brexit
campaign for all of those years. This is truly and utterly disgusting. But it isn't just happening to me. I know of people going back nearly 10 years who were UKIP candidates, UKIP MEPs, others in prominent positions in the Brexit Party who also had their bank accounts closed. But none of them really had the voice to speak out. And I feel that I do. There are other people in media too who've had their media accounts closed down. And it seems to be all one way. It seems to be all against people who have traditionalist or conservative views. There is something totally outrageous going on here.
We all hate you.
So I've been considering over the course of a day my options. I've spent time talking to lawyers. I've been considering legal action. I've been asking myself whether, frankly, it's even worth staying in this country.
Please go. Now. Please.
I could go to one of the fintechs and I could get the ability of at least a payments mechanism, but it's not a bank account. It doesn't have a debit card. It wouldn't pay you interest on money, and you certainly wouldn't be able to borrow any money or get a mortgage if you wanted one in the future. So I've been seriously considering my options. And I said earlier on today that at 7 o'clock tonight, I'd tell you what my next steps were. Well, you could knock me down with a feather, because the phone rang at 7:15, and it was the bank that wants to close me down completely in a few weeks' time. They claim there's nothing political at all in what they're doing. It's purely a commercial decision. And it was said to me on the phone a few minutes ago, they could get me a personal account with another bank that is part of the same group, but that doesn't apply to the business account, so frankly, isn't of much use to me. I'm used to battling against the odds. I'm used to being prejudiced against in the most extraordinary way. And I'm generally pretty tough in fighting through these things. But just for once, I'm really pretty thoughtful.
When he's talking about his personal account, you can't use it for the business. It's because he's a limited company. And you have to have a bank account for your limited company.
Pretty thoughtful about whether it's actually worth living in this country right at the moment. So what I am going to do is take some time off, take a week or two off, maybe more, to consider what my next steps are going to be.
I've got an idea for you. Get a bit of hose, okay? Push it through the crack of your Volvo, if that's what you still got. Actually, no, the wheel nuts got loosened on that, didn't they? Well, anyway, whatever car you might have, and then maybe, just in that the other pipe at the derriere of the car, and then just sitting there comfortably, and maybe listen to a bit of GB News streamed to your smart device, smarter than you, and and maybe that shouldn't.
This is going on in our country. It's happening to plenty of people. I just happen to be one of them. But you know what? Unless this rot is stopped, in time to come, you at home may say things on Facebook or Twitter that may result in you losing your bank accounts too. That, I think, is how scary.
Oh dear. Well, I have to admit, me and Mrs. were looking at electric bikes. We're talking about them, actually. We didn't even look at them. We were talking about like rad power bikes, the cargo bikes and stuff like that. Electric bikes. So it's really useful to us here, and also for the camper. And you know what? All of a sudden, within a few minutes, all we got in our feed were rad power bikes. Even though we hadn't searched for them. It's nuts, isn't it? It's the world we live in, that it is. Well, until next time, I hope you have a lovely, evening. What's left of it? Night, maybe. But don't forget, there's memberships and, you could like and subscribe. I should have done a poll, shouldn't I? Should have done a poll. Yeah. So Nigel's going to be the only customer on the flight to Hotel Rwanda. Oh, let's hope. There's machetes included. Oh, okay, that's a sick joke. Anyway, human turd. He most certainly is. Get Dobby to book you a flight to Rwanda, Nige. But Dobby gave me a sock. And being dragged out of something against your will by spies in suits. Oh, know the feeling. Yeah, sounds a bit like Brexit. Yeah.
Welcome to the Brexit, sir. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
As Brexit failed, like your business and your marriage, you're as popular as Guy Fawkes. Put your millions in the Trump bank. Coming soon, apparently. Please, go. Yes, please. I wish he would. He was caught running a promo campaign for the Phobos. Did they have links to Russia as well as not? The thing about Nigel Farage and his UKIP, you see. Now, Carol Coldwater got strung up for this on costs and fees and stuff like that regarding a case that Aaron Banks took Carol Coldwater, the journalist, to court. And although she kind of won, but she didn't because she ended up with these massive costs. Well, Aaron Banks, who's an insurance geezer, he was, funding UKIP. He was always there in the pictures, wasn't he, with Nigel Farage. And when it come down to the money that Aaron Banks was paying to UKIP was paid from one of Aaron Banks' companies that had no transactions other than a wad of money coming into the company and then Aaron Banks spending that money. No one knows where that money came from in the first place. And it is said to be Russian money. And that's what I forgot his name now. Rwanda. MP for Rwanda said, underprivileged, which has been criticised for by Nigel Farage. So I wouldn't be surprised. There is some truth in it. Turn the lights on. It's because I put the flipping little cover on. That's what I do. Usually do at the end. Yeah, I usually put that on the end. There, you see. It's when I finish off it. Then okay. So I lug it into it. It's actually what it does. It's not too bad at the minute. It's actually my little sun hood type thing that made out of a glasses case with like Velcro on the inside. And I put Velcro around the camera. I do that, and when the light's there and there, you see, it stops the glare. See. So think about you see. I like that. Aren't they nice? Anyway, I'm going to go now. So to tell you now, and thanks a lot for everybody joining us tonight. I think it's been quite fun. It has. We're going to do it again tomorrow night. So, see you then. Have a lovely weekend. Ta-ta. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Oh, maybe. Skinny dipping maybe, or wear some Speedos. I don't know, whatever takes your fancy. But be careful, because they pinch. And they can make you sterile. Apparently. My mother told me that.